All right, let's do another one. We got iDrop and MrSavage, the big name duos. These guys are landing at Logjam or Chrome Jam as it's currently called. Interesting to see them conned here. It doesn't look like based on the map they're going to be conned, but, you know, things may change. I'm not a doctor. Okay, I see you, baby. Able to clean that one up. Pretty good RNG, the fact that both of them have shotguns right off the rip. Rip, GG's, thank you. And these guys are just going to loot up. I landed Logjam last season. It's okay. I think the big problem is a lack of metal. That was my biggest issue with it. Like, even this isn't going to give you that much. We'll see how these guys handle it. Maybe there's a new source of metal. Typically, what I had to do was go up to here when the chug splashes were there, or go down to bridge and get metal there. You can get like 300-ish a piece just by, you know, chests and farming random stuff. So maybe they're just gonna be playing with that. They also get the hollow chest spawns, which are pretty nice. I think there's 2 or 3 spawns and then a couple nearby, so would definitely expect them to be chilling on that. Yeah, so they get about 400 metal. So it's not that bad. I would definitely take 400 metal in any lobby, actually. Much less the FNCS lobby. This guy's running into a battle here. Okay. Savage hits the snipe. And now we're just going to back on off, chill for a wee bit. There's really no need for this fight. And I think iDrop sees that, so he's like, bro, let's get out of here. I don't feel like dealing with this. Savage is on board. That looked like it hit him. Okay. So we're just going to get on out. Smart play. I don't want to be dealing with that if I'm these guys. And they are just going to move on. This is the same exact loadouts. All we've seen really change is the Evo Chrome or the hammer. Occasionally people will hold a Ranger. I think that is just all going to be preference, right? I do think you'll probably need one person with a hammer. If you don't have like a Thomas HD to snipe everyone in the lobby for you, you'll need that AR damage, and the Evo Chrome at distance is just, it ain't it. So we see these guys just waiting. And then going to continue to move south as zone pulls. Get themselves further down. Because if we saw where zone was, it was almost guaranteed to go further south, or they would need to go further south based on where they were. Do see they're going to cap pretty much all their mats here. Love to see that. Use the river to get that little extra speed boost. And then they're just using all this brick to get like extra space to play off of. Interesting. So they've just like claimed all this space. So we see iDrop's got all this. Savage built some area over here. So they have a decent amount of builds to play out of. Not anything crazy. Oh, that looks super choppable. All right, don't get distracted. Interesting to see them play this. I've seen a number of duos split like that. So they're going to go to God Rock, claim even more space. And I think this is kind of just to like hedge your bets, right? You have no idea where zone's going to pull. So if you just have bases all over the place, you're chilling. And they got that fight off spawn. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The zone pulls. Immediately they're going more towards the center of the zone, knowing that they have another God Rock. So just great recognition of what is around you and using those mats. Boom. Now they're chilling. Savage is all the way over here. He's just waiting for some shots. Players trying to get in zone. Doesn't really see anything on backside. iDrop's trying to buy time. Okay. And this is what happens when you have a great sniper on your team. You just keep getting those 100 tags. And if I'm in these lobbies, especially if I'm not going to be able to get the refresh, I'm probably going for a more safe shot than trying to go for headshots every time. Because that way I'm confirming the damage. And you never know when someone's only 100 HP. Plus, you're not getting that refresh. So, especially in these lobbies, it's not worth really any points to get elims. It's just worth like the refresh ability of them. So these guys have been playing so separate from one another. iDrop is literally just painting. Savage was doing all the damage, and iDrop's just chilling here. So fit zone pulls, they go immediately. This is what I've seen from the best teams. Rotate immediately, so while everyone's trying to figure out their rotate, you're already in zone. And we see them able to do that. They based up, and they're like, I don't really like that position. And the reason why, I'll talk you guys through this. So this is right on edge. And look at all these teams that are going to have to make it in to this edge. If we look in the bottom right corner, you can see where my camera is. It's right on the edge of zone. All these teams are going to have to come here. If you're staying here, you're just going to wind up being buried. So go a couple boxes back, get a little more elevation. That way you have some space to place a pad, and you don't have to worry about getting buried or having to fight a team just for your space. So smart little move. Costs that wee bit extra mats, but it's definitely worth it. I always like going a little deeper in fifth. Oh, dang. They almost bullied that team. Those guys below got lucky, man. They were not aware of what was about to happen. Interesting. So, towards the end of the game, Savage, it's like, yo, give me the pads. I'm going to be placing the pads. And you notice how he just tried to throw those on both those floors? He's testing it because certain floors, especially like this one, I don't think because it's slightly in the ground, you're going to be able to throw that. You need like a fully out of the ground floor in order to place a pad. So not a surprise, but this is also a great way to like prevent yourself from getting scuffed ahead of time. And we see they're already building themselves up. So I'm guessing when Savage tried to throw it on both those floors, it was like, yeah, nah, it's not going to work. So they're just waiting. High pad in this guy. Getting on bridge on the right side of zone. So what the best teams do, they play on the sides of these zones. Oh, iDrop gets cruel. Savage like, give me that. iDrop, get down here. Yeah, iDrop needs that. He's just going to splash up. Get that HP back. They're chilling. Then they're going to pad the rest of the zone. If you're iDrop, you would have wanted... Uh-oh. Nice protective builds to get back. Then they can splash, heal up. And we're going to chrome. I like that. Using both pads and the chrome, understanding both movement pieces is huge. Knowing how to use those is massive. It's another team that I think is using both very well. Going to go back in zone to hit the pad. Accidentally misses it. It's all good, though. Savage getting them ahead. Oh, watch yourself. Good cover there by iDrop to recognize his teammates getting jumped on, holding that floor on his head. So these guys are kind of in the shambles part of this zone, right? There's so many builds around them. You just need to be careful. And we see Savage just now find some clear space to play with. He has to stay ahead, though. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Towards the end of these games, it gets chaotic. Savage recognizes he needs to layer chains again. iDrop's going to get that refresh on backside of zone. Bring it up to his tarper. Savage just bops that guy. Nice little refresh there as well. And we see iDrop taking control, but he winds up getting dropped. iDrop is getting dropped. Haha, I'm sure that joke's been made way too many times. And then we see they're just constantly staying on the sides of zone. Look at where they are. You can't see this. It's better to see on this map. So they're on the right side of this zone trying to go around. If we just look at like where zone is, you guys can see that. Boom. They're staying on this right side. The outsides of the zone are the best places to be, the safest. And it's where you always want to prioritize. We see they're now going down layers. Because you can't really play second height with no mats, and that's the position they're in at the moment. Hitting a little... Oh, look at that. A little pre-edit play. A little bop to the face. That's the refresh they needed. They're hard stacked for this point in the game. They're going to need another refresh at some point. But they'll survive for the time being. And you notice how they went from the sides of zone now to the middle? Well, one, zone's like really small, so it's hard to be on a side. But two, they're trying to get back to the congested area to get that refresh, knowing that no one's really going to be on the sides. So you have to get back into the middle where everyone else is. Zone pulling somewhat back here. And this is just the waited out moments. You hear all the shots going on around you. There's no need to do anything extra. Just make those rotates. Get yourself where you need to be. And you're chilling. Don't try and do too much. This is smart. Not a lot of teams. Some teams panic when they get low on materials and try to do too much. And now is about the time where they need to start making a move. But their patience pays off. They wind up waiting, baiting for someone, knowing that there's players on the backside of zone. That falls right into their lap. They're able to get that refresh and again, just extend their game here. iDrop has no mats, so Savage has to share a little bit. Boom, there it is. Thank you, MrSavage. So this is a slight misplay. Knowing this is a solo, just full force this one. He does wind up getting him eventually, but you lose Savage in the process. Much rather just both players, because you don't know. iDrop ran around. He could have just ran into another player. Just stick together in these moments. iDrop looks to make a play. They've already gotten third place, so this is one of those mid-ground teams that I think will be super consistent if they're able to make it off spawn. And right now they're uncon, so I don't think they're going to have any spawn issues. Plus Savage is a 6 sniper. So, yeah, a little bit of both. iDrop forced to make a play here. It's do I go low, do I go high? 3 match, you're going low. And that's just pretty much a GG's. Nonetheless, I like it. These guys understand how to play the game, as always. And, you know, it is what it is, man. They look solid. This is probably one of the better Savage-led teams I've seen. Although, it's hard to say that because when Savage and Benji played, they just, like, had a knack for being conned off spawn against a really good team. So it's like, how good are you when you're essentially not going to walk away off spawn? Like, more than 70% of the time. So you're throwing 30% of games. Nonetheless, looking forward to these two. Big name duo. Love to see it.